Okay, I'm not sure I'm ever going to do live streams on this channel, but I am going to do this particular video with no cuts. So this is my Atari VCS, or Atari 2600. That was before they officially called it the 2600, and this is the one that I had from childhood. So I think I got this at Christmas 1979, although I could be off by a year either way. But in any case, um, uh, this has been sitting in my parents' closet, and then actually here at home in the closet for the last couple years. So this is basically 40 years old, and it hasn't been turned on for about 30 years. I'm thinking 87 or 88 was the last time this actually has been used. And I still have some original accessories. This is an original joystick from 40 years ago. I had the original paddles. I have still have some of the games that I originally owned. I looked, and this the power adapter here is not vintage, although it's probably a good 30 plus years old, but it's not the original Atari power supply. And I'm using a adapter to connect this directly up to the coax port of this old CRT TV, which this is not extremely old. This probably dates from the 90s. So the main concern is on the system is whether or not maybe there are some blown capacitors in here. So don't know whether this is going to actually work or not. So we'll find out together here. So I'm going to power on the television. Now, okay, let's see, channel 3. Yeah, see, that's the other thing, is I'm not sure. I may have this. Not sure whether this. Let's see. I'm going to assume that the channel selector goes on channel 3 or 4. So I'm not sure which one I have it on. But decided to pick out a classic here, Space Invaders. And let's plug in the joystick here. Okay. And color here, I guess. All right, let's see what happens. Nothing. Well, let's see. No, that's not. Let's see. Huh. Well, so the question is whether something is, whether the game is broken or whether there's something else going on here. The power adapter seems to be plugged in. And I've got the, got this plugged in. Well, it did something. Did not do what I was hoping. So the other question here is whether or not there's something else I need to do. Hooking this directly up to the coax, it should work on. Well, let's see if we go to input here. No, I don't think it's going to be up there on those channels. And of course, I don't have any tools in here to fiddle with the channel selector, so that's real convenient. Well, that was real exciting. Well, let's see. Okay. I think there's anything I can do with regards to the TV here. So that was very anticlimactic. So I am going to fiddle around a little bit more here, do a couple adjustments. So I think this is on as good as it's going to get on the for the adapter here. Well, let's see. One thing I can try is I can swap out the power supply, because I did buy a new power supply just in case. I doubt that's the problem, though. That doesn't seem like the thing that would be most likely to go. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, there it is. It was the power adapter. I'll be darned. Okay, so there we go. Alrighty, for the first time in 30 years, my Atari is functional. Okay, I'm going to try turning off the light here. Alright, now I don't know how well you can see this. So I'm going to try zooming in a little here. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I'm going to rotate my screen around here so that you don't get that reflection. Now there is a reflection coming out of the door here of the spare bedroom. Oops. Oh, maybe there's okay, now that's interesting. The problem could be some looseness in the adapter, in the connector there, maybe. Okay. So let's plug this controller back in. This is not, it's being a little finicky there. I don't know what that is. Seems to be a, I'm able to move it. I'll adjust the ship size. Oh, there we go. The select finally worked. All right, let's let me. Boy, it's definitely being finicky, that's for sure. I don't know what Maybe there needs to be some contacts cleaned or something here. But, oh, I see what happened. So that was what I had originally, was maybe it's the cartridge connections. No. Oh, come on. I certainly don't remember this having too many problems when I last used it, I don't think. There we go. Okay, let's see. Let's see the switches. The switches aren't. The game reset switch isn't working. Or the select switch finally works, but the reset switch doesn't seem to be. Oh, there we go. I got it. Okay. All right. Oops. Oh gracious! I'm forgetting my patterns and such. The joystick still works okay, although it seemed like that I was never. After a while, I wasn't really happy with how the original joystick worked, and I kept buying replacement sticks, and then after I'd play with those for a few weeks, then they wouldn't be working as well as the original. Oops. All right. Oops, hit the wrong button. That was smart. I was trying to hit the volume here. Okay. The classic Atari fart sound. Uh-oh. I'm going to lose my shields. I'm never worried about that stupid UFO. It just seemed to distract me away from the regular game. All right. All right. Well, it worked. So that's kind of cool. Let's see. And of course, I turned off the light, so I can't see my box of games here. Yeah, definitely there's a little something in the contacts there. This in the game, it's in the power switch, not sure. Definitely is going to need some TLC. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now this is the one game I think I can claim some mastery of because the video pinball here is a very simple pinball machine, but it had a nudge feature, and so that lets you basically just, once you get it into one of these slots there, you could just keep going up and down through that. I don't know whether I can do that anymore or not. It's been a while. So I'm nudging that. So that's how I'm keeping it in there. Now that keeping it in that one doesn't really help you too much. It's the other one that really works for you. So what you're trying to do is do the Atari thing. The Atari thing gives you free. Let's see, that gives you a free player, I think, if I remember right. But it's the rollover. One of the valid complaints about this game is that you can play for a long time and not have to actually flip the flippers. So what I want to do is I want to get up into that other rollover target there on the left, but also up at the top. That's how you increase the counter on these bumpers. So they go from so the bumpers go from giving you 100, and each time you clear those top 3 targets, the top of the screen, that goes up by 100. Now, of course, it maxes out at 900, but that gives you a lot of points while you're trying to get the other targets. Like I said, I haven't played this in forever, so almost got it in there. Okay, there we go. So you can hear what I'm doing. I'm clicking the button and then doing a little bit of a joystick move to steer the ball to keep it in this. Like I said, I'm 30 years out of practice on this, but I used to always do it so that I would be always steering it to the right. That seemed to be the most comfortable direction for me. Now I steered it into that, although again that doesn't, once you do that once per ball, otherwise it doesn't help you anything. Whoops. And you have to be careful with the nudging that you don't tilt it. I came pretty close to tilting on that last nudge there. Let's launch it again here. Let's see if I can get, okay. Oh. And that's the other thing. You get 4,000 points for each one of those too. That's how you rack up the big points. I've gotten scores of I don't know, many millions. I'm sure that somebody has probably gotten something ridiculous like 100 million or some ridiculous score like that. I mean, you can almost you can almost play this forever. I mean, I would literally sit, I mean, for like a minute at a time in that rollover target over there here on the left, and just you could rack up. If you did it 250 times, you got 1,000,000 points. Uh-oh. And that was the other thing that steering the ball could do, was help avoid the ball going into into that channel there on the left. Let's see. Oops. There we go. Ooh, no. Oh, here we go. All right. I did that actually nudging left, which again is that was the I preferred pushing right, but you can do it either way. Oh, I tried steering it, didn't steer it far enough. Okay, now notice it just went to ball 2 because I had the extra ball from getting the Ataris the first time. Let's see, and the trick on getting the Ataris was to launch the ball at just the right speed to get up into the start up into the Atari roll over there and then hit it the 4 times. There we go. Yeah. Like I said, I'm a little bit rusty. But I played this a lot, so I still have a little bit of muscle memory left from the old days. There we go. There we go. That's the other thing you want to do is you want to get the bumpers up to again, you can get those up to 900 apiece, and that actually starts to add up as you're trying to get the ball up into these upper targets. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so okay. Yeah, I'm thinking about this wrong. You get 4,000. Let's see. You have to. Okay, I think that's what it is. You have to get the 4 Ataris, and then you'll get 4,000 for each one. Otherwise, you get 1,000 or something. Okay, so that's the other reason why it's important to get the Ataris there, because yeah, because those rollover targets. You need to count those. There we go. Oh, almost right up into it, but I screwed it up. It's always dangerous right there. That's the ball gets going fast and it goes right down into the drain. Yeah. Oops, get in there, there we go. Yeah, just not quite proficient at getting that to stay in there. There we go. And if you're careful, you can get a good total amount of nudge if you just do it in really short bursts, which is what I did there. And by the way, I know there are better pinball games out there. This is just the one that I had. One that I actually have on cartridge here. That's the other reason to get the bumper count up, is because you hit the bumper a bunch of times on that too, and that once you get that up to 900, that really gets you a lot of points just from going up and down through that. And this is a point where you have to be careful, be especially careful about tilting, because if you tilt, you lose your any free guy that you've earned, and you lose all those points in the in that target. Yeah, not quite. And then you go over here. There you go. One of the annoying things is you actually have to hit the number for it to work, so you can, it's kind of easy to miss that number 1. There we go. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah, I'm okay at getting it into that, but keeping it in there is kind of eluding me right now. See if I can go through the Atari there and get the maybe bounce over and get that other target at the top. There we go. I steered it right into there. Yeah, there we go. So I got the 4,000. 4,000 for each one of those. And if you do this right, you can, like, you know, go have lunch while it's counting all those down. But oh, there we go, getting out. Oh, almost nudged that over. Yeah, that wasn't very good. Okay, I got my free guy. Good. Free ball, not free guy. Oh, had to nudge that one. That one was heading right down into the drain. Oh, there we go. Let's see if I can get it in there now. There we go. Ah. Oops. Uh-oh. Oh, I really wanted that free guy. Oh, darn it. I was really hoping to get 1,000,000 points, but it didn't quite work out. All right. So, I don't know, I may do some more of these videos later with some different games. I also have purchased a Harmony cartridge so that I can play off of ROMs. You know, probably play some of the classics, maybe some of the newer ones. Probably won't play anything very controversial. You know, I'll play simple non-controversial stuff like Dragster.